It seems like 21 Savage is working on a new album. We got some evidence and what type of sound he's looking for, so that's what we're going to look at today. And also I found this interesting because obviously when Her Loss dropped, we were talking about both of them, so Drake and 21 Savage going at a solo album again. And we got some, a little bit of Drake news. I went over that in the other video, but let's jump into this one and let's take a look at the evidence. If you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe and become part of this community. Oh, and also go cop that fresh merch and listen to my new songs in the description. So shout out to my boy Young Carter up on Instagram because he hooked me up with this information. Here's what he said. So he said, 21 Savage is cooking up a new album, and here's the proof. So there's a producer called KXVI, or I don't know how I should pronounce this, KV, let me know in the comments, who has a Discord server where music producers send loops, beats, make music, etc. I'm in there because I make beats. So this producers cook up some beats with melody loops made by him, which he sends to several artists like 21, Lil TJ, Polo G, and some more. Or vice versa, we make loops, he cooks up. So that's kind of like his own little community in that Discord where he connects producers and him who has the better connections, at least allegedly. So there's a post from him, and then he sent me the screenshots after this, and in there he says, I need some beats for 21, he's finishing his album. So let's actually take a look at what he said. So in this case, he said, at everyone, I need shit at 155 to 160 BPM for 21 Savage. Go through my old loops and cook drums similar but not identical to Rich Flex. That is the reference they gave me. 21 is finishing up his album. And we got another screenshot where he's simply just saying, give me simple, clean hits on these. Need beats back for 21 Savage, TJ mostly right now, and Big Walk Dog always too. So he sent them, a couple of loops and they should make their own beats with it. And they gave him a reference, so they allegedly being the people that gave him the information or like the references that they want for the 21 Savage album, so likely a label or anyone that is working with 21 Savage. He also sent me the link to the Discord. I wanted to check it out, but that link has expired, so I can't get in there. Now, he did mention that this dude also has a YouTube channel, which you can go check out, and actually I've seen this guy before, I didn't know it, but he's the one that made like a video, how I made 700,000 being a producer with no placements, whatever, so you can go check him out. I don't know. I don't fully trust this guy, not Young Carter, but the guy on YouTube. Maybe he does have all these connections and he is talking to a lot of big people on his YouTube channel, even though he only has 25,000 subscribers, but he is talking to a lot of people that have produced for big names in the industry. So I can actually see this guy having some sort of connections to also then be someone that gives out placements for a 21 Savage album. Now, obviously the interesting stuff is that he's finishing his album right now, so we could be seeing a release date. I mean, nowadays the point where you finish an album and where you release it is usually very close. We don't have it nowadays anymore that an album is done like months before it comes out, only in very rare cases of like big artists. But 21 is a big artist, but like a Kendrick would do that. So maybe if he's only now finishing the album, we might be seeing a new 21 Savage album over the next couple of months, but obviously we don't know anything about that because we don't actually have any info from him. Also, what I found interesting is that we can kind of get an idea of what this album is going to sound like because we know that they're working in the 155 to 160 BPM range, so actually rather fast, to put it like very simple. We can't go into a lot of detail on this one, but it's likely going to be, as they said, somewhat like Rich Flex, and he did say that they should be similar but not identical, which I think is pretty good because Rich Flex was definitely a record that I thought 21 could definitely shine on, and where he could display his skills and what he brings to the table when it comes to just hopping on track and going hard on it. So, that's something that I was very happy about. They're looking at least at similar stuff as, Rich Flex. As I said, take this with a huge grain of salt because I don't know the credibility of this guy, this KXVI guy. I've checked him out on YouTube. He does seem to be talking to a lot of industry people, so maybe he has some solid information, but maybe also not, and this is, I don't know what it is for, just kind of tease people into his Discord server. So take it with a grain of salt, but I thought this was pretty interesting because we've been talking about a new 21 album for quite some time, and this comes at a time when I think it would actually be pretty sensible for 21 Savage to finish an album. We had Her Loss in November of last year, and then we talked about Scary Hours 3, whatever, and we also said that 21 should have a solo album coming out at some point in the near future, because that would be the perfect way to capitalize off of the success of Her Loss. I mean, when you look at 21 Savage's monthly listeners, they went up from like 20 million before to now like 60-70 million just because of that Drake cosign, or at least just because of the Drake collab album. That is what that does to you, and 21 Savage definitely profited from that as well. He's up there now with the big, he's in the like top 20 most streamed artists worldwide. Like, he's really up there now. And even back then, I said that Drake should drop soon, carry on that momentum from Her Loss. He should drop Scary Hours 3. We just got that single Search and Rescue, which I said does kind of sound like a Scary Hours, but we can't actually confirm that. And I also said that 21 Savage should be dropping a solo album soon, because his latest one, I Am Greater Than I Was, is almost like 5 years old now, 4.5 years old. So that was a pretty long time ago. Also, what I did want to mention is that obviously Drake and 21 Savage are going on tour for the It's All a Blur tour in June, July, and then all the way to September, I think even. So I did say even for Drake that he would have to drop like a Scary Hours pack right before that, and I still see that happening, just to kind of put it out there. And honestly, this opens up the possibility for a 21 Savage album also releasing before the tour. Because imagine if they can perform the Her Loss tracks, and if, they can also then perform 21 Savage solo tracks. We're likely going to have Drake features on the 21 project as well, so that even gives it a further boost. And I mean, imagine you get a collab album from Drake, and then you go on tour with Drake and play your own shit. That would be huge for 21. Like, that would be a game changer for him. Now, obviously, all of this is still on thin ice, and we, can't really say much without confirmation from either of those artists, so Drake or 21 Savage. But it's kind of all lining up now. Like, we've been talking about this ever since Her Loss dropped, and now we're getting into the tour phase of this rollout. Maybe they're playing the tour just for Her Loss, and then they want to do another tour, like a solo 21 tour, afterwards, just to capitalize off of it a little bit more. But this would be a perfect opportunity for him to just kind of, get his music out there and play it while on tour with Drake. I mean, what better opportunity do you get than that? So that's all the news we got. This guy on YouTube, KXVI, is shouting out, to his subscribers on the Discord who are making beats, that they should, make beats for 21 Savage, and he then picks the best one, sends them to the label, they can work with it, and they're going for a Rich Flex type vibe, 155 to 160 BPM, but not identical to Rich Flex, so just kind of the vibe for it. So that's all the news we got. Let me know what you think about this. Do you think we're gonna get a 21 Savage album very soon? Do you think it'll be kind of like Her Loss, but just a solo 21 Savage one, like we did kind of get the hint with the similar but not identical to Rich Flex? Let me know all your thoughts and all your theories on this in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and y'all take care.